I live in a townhouse with very thin walls. My neighbor's dog barks at everything, so I wear noise-canceling headphones when I clean. Today I was deep cleaning the kitchen and had music blasting. Like, obnoxiously loud Britney Spears kind of blasting. Midway through scrubbing the stove, I smelled smoke. I turned and saw a faint haze. The kitchen towel I had tossed too close to the stove, which apparently I accidentally turned on, was smoldering. I freak out, rip off the headphones, toss the towel in the sink, run water. It's out. Im relief. Crisis averted. Then I hear the banging. Apparently, the smoke set off my alarm. I didn't hear it, and my neighbor, thinking ID died in a fire, called the fire department. So now I'm explaining to literal firefighters that the emergency was just a towel while covered in soapy water and wearing fuzzy pink socks that say hot mess. They were kind. My dignity was not. TLDR, noise-canceling headphones stopped me from hearing a fire alarm. Neighbor called the fire department. I met them in Britney mode. So whenever I do buy fur, I travel to Canada and buy from a man that gets furs from roadkill and uses the money to feed his family. I make sure to respect the furs and handle them with care when I craft with them. Well, my boyfriend wanted to learn how to craft as well and bought some leftover fur scrapes for his LARP projects. He went online and saw an advertisement for some fur scrapes, thinking it was just small cuts of leftover furs. Well, the box arrived and he excitedly opened it. He had me pull them out one by one since he was a little scared it was dirty. He has a phobia of things that can potentially be dirty. Well, when I opened up the box, I pulled the first scrap out and it was a little paw, which I thought was neat. After that, all the scraps just ended up being beaver faces. I kept pulling them out one by one and his expression was becoming more horrified each time. He started to cry and I had to comfort him, though I thought it was kind of funny. TLDR, boyfriend accidentally bought a box of beaver faces. Today I was in a Teams meeting with about a dozen executives and other higher-ups. My role in this call is to be the Tom Smykowski from Office Space. I talk to the customers so the engineers don't have to. I have people skills. We are all discussing a replication outage on our SQL servers. Our SQL boxes are all named numerically like SAVM, SEVM, etc. We're talking about how each of these boxes are doing and I'm giving reports on each of them. We refer to the box by its number because who wants to keep saying SEVM like times? We start with our most used machines and eventually get to SAVM, and all, how popular is 69? Instant head smack. Year-old me is chuckling while year-old me is panicking. Awkward silence for a few agonizing seconds. Several people on the call go on mute. Thankfully, someone chimes in that it's only used for limited purposes. My confidence is completely shot and I'm trying not to say anything else stupid. But it gets worse. MS Teams has these asinine emojis that can get attached to other people's comments. Another person in the meeting added a comment and I tried to copy it from the chat. Of course, the instant that I clicked on the text bubble to copy it, the emoji menu pops up and I accidentally clicked on the damn LOL emoji. I'm now super panicking and I am desperate to undo that LOL emoji. I end up just making things worse by clicking on the thumbs up emoji as well. Anyway, so that's how it's going for me. How about you? TLDR Tifu by saying, how popular is 69 in a big meeting? Followed that up by adding the LOL emoji to some guy's comment. Made it worse by also adding the thumbs up. I in fact do not have people skills. Okay, to start, I just want to clarify I'm not a pervert. I've been in the army for years and have routinely participated in random drug screenings, both as a participant and observer. An observer is someone that makes sure the person testing isn't doing anything weird or that can compromise their specimen. You have to see the specimen leaving the body of the participant. No one ever gets that close, you pretty much just watch them. Well, I'm getting out of the military. Today I had my first non-military pre-employment drug screening. I went into my normal routine. Got the cup, opened the door, listened to her instructions. Proceeded to unzip and I hear sir, can you close the door please? Oh shit. I didn't know that was allowed. I thought it was weird I had a female observer. Super awkward handoff. TLDR, I don't need to use the bathroom with the door open anymore. So I totally forgot that my roommate had booked a guy to come in and install our new air conditioner today. My roommate was out of the house this morning, so I hit my Benjamin and started watching some Twin Peaks since it helps me relax when I'm high. It's really starting to hit me harder than normal for some reason when suddenly I hear a knock at the door and I freak the fuck out. For some reason my first instinct is that it's an undercover cop. Weed is legal where I live, but you have to be in him. So I go to the door and try to act normal as possible and I just start completely tweaking out on this poor guy. I started giving him a whole made-up account of my day, like I told him I went for a run around the block, which I literally never do, and I gave him really specific timestamps for everything, like making a protein shake at hours. Yes, I used military time. Luckily I think he caught on that I was high and just brushed it off. At one point I straight up asked him if he was a cop and he just laughed and said he didn't mind if I had a little weed. I burst into this awkward laugh and said something to the effect of I can't buy weed, I'm not old enough. I really don't mess around when it comes to the law, I'm tough on crime. By the time he left I was still high ASF and I thought he had installed a hidden camera in the air conditioner, so I covered the whole thing in duct tape. That was a fun one to explain when my roommate got home. TLDR, I forgot a guy was coming over to install a new air conditioner and I got high as balls and thought he was a cop. This literally just happened an hour ago and I'm still cringing so hard I want to disappear. I work at this small accounting firm and there's maybe of us total. We're all pretty close and joke around a lot. So there's this guy Kevin latest maybe? Who sits near me and he's been acting weird lately. Like he keeps asking me about my desk neighbor Amy, what she likes to eat for lunch, if she's dating anyone, stupid stuff like that. It was pretty obvious he had a thing for her, but Amy seemed totally oblivious. Today we're all in the break room for someone's birthday cake and Kevin's being his usual awkward self around Amy. She's talking about how she's thinking of dyeing her hair and Kevin just goes, "You'd look good with any hair color," which was sweet but also cringe. I thought I was being helpful by nudging him a little. So without really thinking I said, "Kevin, you should just ask her out already, we all know you have a massive crush on her." I meant it as like a friendly push, but the entire room went dead silent. Amy's face turned bright red and Kevin looked like he wanted to crawl under the table. Amy mumbled something about needing to get back to work and basically ran out of the room. Kevin followed her and I could hear them having this awkward conversation in the hallway. I think she was trying to let him down easy, but I couldn't really hear everything. Now I feel like absolute shit because I basically forced this whole situation when maybe Kevin wasn't ready or maybe Amy suspected but didn't want to deal with it. The office vibe has been weird all afternoon and I keep catching people looking at me like I'm some kind of drama starter. Kevin came back to his desk and hasn't said a word to me. Amy's been avoiding eye contact. I texted Kevin saying I was sorry and that I thought I was helping, but he just said it's fine, which clearly means it's not fine. I honestly thought I was being a good wingman, but now I'm wondering if I just made everything worse for everyone. Like maybe some things are better left unsaid? But also, isn't it better to just be direct about this stuff instead of dancing around it for months? TLDR. I have no idea if I should try to fix this somehow or just pretend it never happened. Either way, I definitely fucked up. So this happened last night and I still haven't recovered. Im literally so embarrassed. I went on my third date with this guy I really like and we went back to my place after eating at a taco truck. We were listening to music and I was feeling myself. So we're cuddling on the couch and FTCU by Nicki Minaj comes on. I got up and started shaking my behind, making it clap if you know what I mean. Meanwhile my date is sitting there like. Then I felt my gut rumble and literally a second later, I accidentally let out the loudest, wet-sounding noise. I stopped and just stared at him, hoping that he didn't notice or that the music covered it up, but I won't lie, it was loud. He quietly stood up, grabbed his car keys and walked out the door. I texted him minutes later saying, "Hey, you good?" He never replied and hasn't talked to me or snapped me all day. I'm literally mortified and I think I messed things up. TLDR tifu by shaking it on my date after eating tacos and accidentally passing gas loudly. Haven't heard from him since.